Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy, just.j.c, and I got my boy right here.
J_underscore Mcdonald.
And this episode, it's going to be regarding the second week of training. Apologies that I'm a little behind, about a week from posting. MTI happened, right? MTI live. So the grind kind of caught up on me, but we're here, and I brought my boy, TSgt Mcdonald, right here to talk about the second week because not only is he an MTI as well, but also he's a black rope, a trainer like myself. So now you can see a perspective, not just from me, but also from somebody else from a different squadron. Although the squadron that he's from, you know where this is going. It ain't as good as mine, but at least you get a different perspective. So with that being said, go ahead.
Yeah,
I can see the salt.
Hey, the 331st Training Squadron, you know, their views are not mine. You know, I don't necessarily represent everything, but we know how to get down. We take care of business. But no, like you said, I'm an MTI who became a trainer. I became an MTI, went to MTIS in 2013.
13?
No.
Ooh, I was going to say, damn, my boy, you been here for a hot minute.
February 13 of 2020.
Yep.
Graduated in April from MTIS and then went to TQ training qualification.
So we met back in MTI school.
I believe you were 2 weeks ahead of me.
Yeah, I think a class or two ahead of you.
Yep. 2 weeks ahead of me. And game compete game. So I already knew what you were on. It's good stuff. And then graduated in April, moved to TQ, graduated TQ in July of 2020. So second week of training, man, like we kind of talk about on the side, right?
Yeah.
Zero first week is that you're just grinding.
Yep.
Blood, sweat, and tears, yelling, trying to find different ways to get into people's head, to get them on track.
Trying to figure them out too, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Trying to learn names.
Yep. Oh, man.
I swear.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this. I know for me that I always remember the ones right off the bat that just don't get it.
Yep. Those are usually, it's either the really, really, really bad ones or the really, really, really good ones.
Yep.
That's
same
how way.
I'm checking to see who I'm going to need to give attention to, at least for a short term, because I can't give like all my efforts to one individual who's slacking. I'm gonna give you everything that I have.
Yeah.
And if you're just not tracking, you're not picking up and not applying, then I'm gonna still give you attention, but it's gonna be less of because I need your wingmen to start
helping out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they can start building that foundation for themselves. But second week, man, I'll tell you what. So I haven't done a 0 through second week, so up to second week, so 0 in first week. I haven't done that, and like I want to say 6 flight cycles, dude.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah,
but from what I know and what I remember, every time I would come home during 0 first week, I'd be exhausted.
Yes, like backs
kaput, and then I get to second week, and it's more of the same, and it's mainly because now it's time for them, the trainees, to kind of figure out and apply. So I think 0 in first week, my wife already knows, like, hey,
you're a zombie.
Yep.
Same with
here.
Same here.
Sleep.
Yep.
Go to work, sleep. Go to work, sleep.
Pass out on the couch on accident.
I swear to you.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Craziness. But and then second week, it's a little bit more laid back because now the trainees have a little bit more knowledge.
Yep. They kind of figured out, kind of this, not necessarily the system, but they know what to do somewhat,
Still so much work to be put in.
Yeah. But at least they know, hey, they can go to the latrine, the bathroom. They know where to eat.
Sir,
Yeah.
Hey, wingman, go ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, I'm going to get up and go to the bathroom. I expect you to do the same.
Yeah.
And then really from a trainer perspective, because being in TQ as a student, as an MTI, like all that stuff in the second week is a whole lot different from what it is with a trainer. So like from a trainer perspective, I'm kind of on the outside looking in on everything.
Yeah.
So it's easier as a trainer to identify the mistakes rather than being like knee deep in it, trying to figure out X, Y, and Z. I can kind of step back and allow a student and give them advice. So for me, I don't know how you do it, but as a trainer, I'm really letting my student get after it. I'm like,
absolutely.
What do you want to do today?
Yep.
All right.
What are your timelines?
Yep.
Same thing. Yeah.
Everything.
And I'm like, well, I wouldn't do that personally. You know what I mean? I'd be like that, but let's see what happens. You know.
I don't even like to tell them that.
Yeah.
I just be like, all right. If it's like a dead in the water type of idea, I'm gonna be like, all right, necessarily I wouldn't do that, but how about X, Y, and Z?
Yeah.
But if they have a solid plan, I'm gonna let them roll with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's may not be what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna let them roll with it. And then if it crumbles, I'm gonna be like, all right, hey, I see it went wrong here, but it was good here.
Yep.
How do you think we can improve that? And then tell them what I did.
Yeah.
So for me, being a trainer is kind of giving me a break in that second week of training. Even zero first week, even though I haven't been there for a while, but it gives me a break.
Because I know for me too, in zero and first, even if I have a student, which I have right now, I'm 1,000%. Like it's his or her flight, but also my presence is known. You know what I mean? So it's like we're working in tandem with each other. So, but yeah, same thing. Like in the second week, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start, kind of relaxing a little bit more because zero and first week, it is
ridiculous.
Yes, guns are blazing. Oh.
I just got done with hopefully my last student.
Yeah.
But, I came in on second week and like there was issues on the flight.
Yeah.
Stuff being reported, and I was like, oh dang, I got to come up in here.
Yep.
Hot.
Yep.
So like immediately as soon as I came in, I didn't come. Some people come to the door, bang, 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 testing EC. I tested EC, but I kind of just came in and I kind of watch how they were doing it, and as soon as I saw one thing wrong, I was
boom,
like, hey, and everybody was like,
yep.
Oh shoot.
Oh man, I already know most trainees are watching this. Probably yours too. Like, yep.
Yeah. So being a trainer, I think is cool, because now I feel like we have good knowledge of the job. Like, I could literally wake up. I mean, I don't condone this by any means, but I can wake up, look at the WOT, and know what I'm doing for the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to plan in advance.
Yeah. And then,
so like for an MTI, like a regular line MTI, I don't care what week of training you're in. It's always best to look at your WOS, so weekly activity schedule, and the WAC, so the weekly activity checklist. That kind of just outlines, for me, that was like a game changer.
Oh yeah.
Like looking at, okay, so for a while though, they weren't aligned.
Yes. So you kind of had to figure out what applied and what didn't.
Like basically had to drag from the week ahead and pull it back.
Yep. Which is nice now that it's, I guess, going back to normal.
Yeah.
But it's still not there yet. Mm-hmm. So right now, like the trainees in the second week, they get their clothing items, right?
Yep.
So what are your perspectives, or what are some of the headaches that you have with like, or you know what I mean, like for a clothing issue?
Okay, so clothing issue. One, so before I like dive into actual like marking and placing all that stuff, more so like getting trainees items they didn't receive.
Oh my gosh.
And or like swapping out, because there's timelines for that stuff.
Oh,
like you got to swap out
wrong
the
sizes.
top.
Yep.
Top doesn't fit. I'm like, hey, wingman, doesn't even look right on you. So that in and of itself is a headache. But I would say moving kind of forward, so when you receive the second clothing issue, I think it's kind of rough, to get in there, because not only do we have to, the day they receive their stuff, you got to show them how to mark, place, roll, fold, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But they've already learned how to roll their OCP T-shirts and all that stuff.
But now you're looking at OCPs and blues.
Yep.
So it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and a dry cleaning brief. I don't know how you guys.
Yeah.
So like usually they get back at what, like 15.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, 1500. So 3 p.m. And then you gotta get them to chow. You gotta do all this stuff. You gotta show them how to mark stuff in certain areas. I think the big headache for me is like, because I'll go by and I'll check them.
Yep.
And I'll be like, hey, that's wrong, wee man. Hey, we need to redo it. And like some of them will put a line through it. And
it's
like, hey, come on now. Hey, I didn't tell you to do all that.
Yep.
So I think getting everybody on the same page is difficult, especially early on as an MTI.
Yeah.
Now, I know that I'm already anticipating the mess up, so I'm like already putting them on game. Like, hey, don't do X, Y, and Z, but you're gonna do it this way, and here's how.
Very like clear and concise with your instruction. All right. So like in the second week, it's, I guess, calming down a little bit more. I guess you would say from 0 to first, but it still has its challenges as well. But yeah, nothing. I don't know. Like I always talk about this, especially in the last 2 videos. Like, oh, not that much happens, but in reality, there's a bunch of stuff happening.
So much stuff. Yeah, you don't even really realize. Like as the MTI for real.
Yeah. But I mean, for us in the second week, especially from our perspective, it's kind of like that. All right, you put in all the work in this, first 2 weeks of training, and then now it's like, this is where it should start paying off, to where you don't have to be with them, like not necessarily holding their hand, but pretty much holding their hand for every single thing. Yeah. And I know for me, it's a little draining too, because it's like you put in all this work, you're exhausted, and now it's like, all right, can I start calming down, or just getting back to the norm?
Shoot,
depends. You know what I mean? Depends on the flight.
I ask you this, so like with that right there, when you come downstairs, you bring your flight downstairs, right? As a young instructor, do you used to be like, dang, my flight looks like trash, or they look good, like compared off of everybody else's?
Oh yeah.
So like, I think that's something I learned over time. It's not necessarily me. It's more so how the flight receives information.
Yes.
So like when I was a young instructor, I'd be like, dang, man, I'm trash. I'm trash. Now I'll talk to like peers and stuff. They'll be like, hey, wingman, I see you doing your thing. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Because, hey,
your flight's looking good. I'm like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, I still got X, Y, and Z to do. I'm like, hey, we're done with that.
Yeah.
But, all right, yeah.
But everyone has their own pace, just as long as you're, sticking with, your WOS and WAG.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I would say, like, even though we're talking about the second week in and of itself, I feel like it's a journey as a MTI.
Yes.
It is such a journey because, correct me if I'm wrong, like, when I came into being an MTI, I was, like, not walking on eggshells, but I was very, like, impressionable.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you could tell me, like, the sky is green. I'd be like, all right, the sky's green. I'm going to go figure it out for myself. But the sky is green. And then like now, shoot, not that you couldn't give me feedback, but you couldn't tell me nothing. Like I'd be like, all right, hey, wingman, nah, like that's not how.
Because function. Yeah. But so in the second week, you're kind of migrating to the third week, where it's like, and we'll talk about that in the next video too, to where you start doing these appraisals and other things that we'll get into. But yeah, for us, right, I know I don't really speak for myself, I guess, as far as being an MTI, but everyone has their own, like, I guess, way to do it, But everyone has their own, like, challenges as well. But you can kind of see, like, even though we're from different squadrons, we came from different places or whatever, we still are kind of, like, doing the same thing, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't really matter, where you go through or where you're at. You kind of, everyone has their same schedule, but there are those minute differences. So hopefully this video helped y'all out, for those of you that want to be an MTI, so you kind of see what it's like in the second week. I apologize, I keep coughing, sick, been sick for a while now. Survived the blue rope comp, sick.
Barely.
Yeah. But that's another video, another conversation for a different time.
My man killed it though.
No, shoot.
He still killed it.
Not enough. But yeah, hopefully this video helped y'all out. Be on the lookout for the third week. And that's kind of where I guess it starts to heat up, because we talk about the fourth and fifth, where this work that you put in really goes into play. But follow my boy, right? Is it j_. Mcdonald, right?
Yes, sir. Follow me. I have Instagram and TikTok.
Yep.
I don't really say with the TikTok, but there are some good videos on there. So
make sure you follow my boy. I'll have his video, or excuse me, his handle down here. We're gonna do a bunch of other videos as well.
Yes,
talk about a lot of other things. So make sure you follow him for more content. Appreciate y'all watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Boom.